and welcome to the Falcon's Cry podcast channel, the podcast created for current and potential students of Daytona State College. I am your host, Kirby, and as an actively engaged student with a 3.9 GPA, I am here to unveil your path to success. Join us as we explore the Falcon's Cry. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Falcon's Cry podcast. I am your host, Kirby, and I would just like to apologize in advance to my listeners for any background noises, as I am not recording in the studio today. Today, we will explore the Writing Center here at Daytona State College. Can you briefly introduce yourself and your role at Daytona State College?
Absolutely. It's good to hang out with you today. My name is Jocelyn, and I'm a student here at Daytona State on top of being a writing tutor at the Writing Center.
Wonderful. How long have you been a writing tutor?
Almost 2 years.
Okay. What would you say is the mission of the Writing Center?
I think that the mission of the Writing Center is actually different for every single student or alumni student who walks through the door. I think everybody has different areas of personal struggle, or perhaps they just want some elaboration on their creativity. I think our mission is to meet you where you need to be met as a student or someone entering the workforce, and to listen to what it is that you would like us to do and what you need from us.
Okay. I heard you mention that, it can be different for each alumni student. With that said, would you say that you have a different kind of personal mission? That's something that's close to you as being a writing tutor?
Sure, yes. I think that it's very important for me to just understand what it's going to take to allow the student to feel more well prepared for something, more in charge of their own voice when writing, or more easily able to understand what's being asked of them or they're being instructed to do. So it's a very big personal passion of mine to start from the ground up with a student and let them know, first, this is what you're doing well, and here's some awesome stuff over here that we can work on, as well as checking in along the way and asking how you feel. Because even if I think something is a wonderful piece of written work, it doesn't matter if you're the one who has to hand it in and you're not feeling good about it.
It's quite a beautiful thing, what you just expressed. I know for me personally, writing is close to my heart. As a grade school student, I didn't really fit in. So, when I felt like I had nobody to talk to, there was always a notebook. I could tell the notebook exactly what I needed to release. What services does the Writing Center offer?
We offer insight, tutoring, revisions, any sort of help that a student needs with any written content. It does not at all have to be writing or reading comprehension specific in terms of the course being addressed during our appointments.
Could you give an example of something that's not,
Absolutely. So I've had students reach out many times, perhaps in a math class or a science class, just so we can help the student break down what is being asked of them in an assignment. Because, for instance, you have certain courses such as liberal arts math that incorporate writing into the curriculum. And even for classes that don't go as far as to have a paper, I've had quite a few appointments over the last few years where a student just shares their screen with me or comes in and shows me their course modules to understand what they are supposed to do for an assignment. So sometimes, when you're reading directions and instructions, you think it's sort of vague, or you're not exactly sure if you're on the right track with what you're doing, even if it has nothing to do with writing, just the reading comprehension of your course instructions. So then students will reach out and say, hey, I don't understand what I'm being asked to do. I'm happy to put in all the time. I'm happy to put in the effort, but I don't know what the professor is asking me to do. I've asked them for clarification and I'm still not sure. Well, that's where you can come hop on over to us and have somebody sit beside you.
What you were saying about the math, I know sometimes, like for instance, equations and college algebra can be confusing enough, and then you get these words mixed in it, and it's like remembering the order of operations and then also comprehending what it is that the problem is asking you. How does a student go about utilizing the services at the Writing Center? How do they get in contact with you?
So we're available until close every day until 5. So from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. you can hop onto the Writing Center area of the Daytona State website. We have a feature called Live Chat. You can just go ahead and click that for assistance to book an appointment. You can also give us a call at the Writing Center front desk, 8 to 5, or leave a message if it's outside hours, or you are more than welcome to email us, and all that information is on the DSC website. If you're on campus and find yourself here working on something or not working on something, you are absolutely free to come visit us. We are on the 3rd floor of the Lemmer Student Center building, and you're more than welcome to stroll in and say hi. I would really like an appointment.
Thank you. So, in general, how are a student's grades impacted when they use the Writing Center?
For the most part, I see people who really follow through week by week, no matter how well prepared or nervous they're feeling about something. If you just stay with it, we can get it done together, or we can make a really big, vast improvement on what you've done. I think that consistency helps. I also think that being in the environment where other people are very clearly sharing the real struggle that you are with your coursework, that's a very shared experience, and I think we have a tendency to hyper-focus on our shortcomings and think, I can't do this, I feel defeated, and you walk into the Writing Center and you'll notice very quickly that that's sort of everyone's story, right? Even ours, even writing tutors.
Yes.
We all have to put the work in too. And it's staying with it that matters, I think a lot is to be said of the age-old words, so much of success is just showing up.
Yes.
And we allow students to have 45-minute appointments 3 times a week, and we try to leave every appointment with the student having learned at least one thing new that they are able to do on their own, or just perhaps with a little bit of reminder. So for instance, if you come in and you say, Jocelyn, I'm a terrible writer and I'm struggling so much in this course, we'll work on your assignment at large for sure, but there will probably be one lesson in that appointment that I've deduced you're really having an issue with that is such a foundational basic. And if I can get you to improve upon that during that first appointment, it's like riding a bike, right? It's a life skill. You're going to take that with you to the next appointment. In terms of scholastic success, is that we always aim to have the student learn a new skill. Our big motto at the Writing Center is, we don't make better papers, we make better writers.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Jocelyn. And just to be a little bit more specific, say somebody comes into your class halfway through a regular semester, fall or spring, and they have a C in their ENC 1101 class. If they utilize your services once a week, every week until they leave, how will their letter grade reflect that? Like in general, I know you can't make promises or anything, but in general, how does that reflect?
Yeah, you were exactly right when you said that. That's not something we can really speak on, as we are not professors. But I will say, in my personal experience the past 2 years, I have seen significant improvement in grade point averages over the time of the semester, just by utilizing the Writing Center. So I would say if anything can improve, it probably will if you stay with it, you stay consistent, and you show up and work hard.
What service at the Writing Center is most used by students, do you think?
I would say tutoring, and I would say the thing that is most commonly utilized in terms of a tutoring appointment are things for citations or people who find themselves having a bit of writer's block or a lack of creativity. I think most of my appointments, the vast majority of the time, is spent working with students who don't know what to say, quote unquote. And you'll find that a lot of the times I'll be amazed 5 minutes in because I'll ask them just a couple of key questions, and all of a sudden they do have a lot to say on the topic, and they think about it. They have a lot more opinions and insight into it than they think they do. So I think a lot of it is just having that presence of another person to draw something out of us. And I would say that and citations are usually our big tickets.
Right. Do you personally have a favorite service at the Writing Center? If so, what and why?
I do. I really like our tutoring appointments, and I would say that my favorite is probably when students come in asking for help thinking of ideas for their topic. That's probably my favorite. So just brainstorming, getting creative with students, getting to know them, interacting one-on-one. That's absolutely my favorite thing that we do. And the why is because I just really enjoy bringing things out of other people. And I personally, it's a much better feeling for me to remind or teach someone that they do have a lot to say and they are quite intelligent or creative. There's something special about everyone, and everyone has something that they can offer to the world and receive applause for or work on or foster a skill of some sort. And that's my favorite thing. I love just getting in there with someone and allowing them to hold a mirror to themselves and see everything that they've actually got to offer.
Thank you to our listeners for tuning in today to the Falcon's Cry podcast channel, where we spoke with Jocelyn, a writing tutor in the Writing Center of Daytona State College. You belong here at Daytona State College. Be sure to check out the resources at the Writing Center on the 3rd floor in the Limerin Student Center at the Daytona Beach campus. Be sure to tune in to the next episode of the Falcon's Cry.